emergency department and stuff.
Yeah.
You just using your phone.
Yeah, I'm actually recording it just for my own purposes, if that's okay. I recorded the one with Nick as well the other day where he was trying to get me to take Valium for bipolar. Yeah.
It's actually not okay for us to...
But I've got no one else here with me. It's facing the bed, but just for voice purposes.
It's just not okay with us.
Well,
we're not consenting to it.
It's a bit hard when I'm here by myself. I've got no one here with me to...
Would you like to have someone else with you?
Well, my son doesn't need to deal with this. My brother, I don't know who contacted my brother to phone me yesterday, but he's a woman basher. Like, this is what he did to my lip. So I'd rather... I'm yet to find out who even contacted my brother to let him know that I was in here. Yeah.
Okay. Look, if you'd rather chat with someone else present, we can do that. But look, we've got your nurse Mark here.
Well, I've only just met Mark and I don't exactly know of Mark, so there's no relationship. I'd rather have one of the other patients in with me, actually. I've gotten to know them better. And then they've got their own issues. Does that make sense? Yeah. But no, that's okay. Yeah. Why? What's I don't understand what the issue is. If it's on my lap and it's like this.
Yeah, we're not consenting to it. We can move forward with the review, but we just know that we're not consenting to being recorded.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay. Well, look, I understand that you came in here initially with the police. Can you tell me a bit about what happened? And
so I felt unsafe while I was waiting. I was surrounded by a whole heap of cars, so I started recording them as well because I feared for my safety. It was a whole heap of men. I wasn't in a car park, I was actually on the side of the road in a dirt patch. All these vehicles were pulling up, so I was recording them, and then the police turned up. I was a little bit heightened, but they helped me to ground myself. Like with the ADHD and the autism, I'm not medicated for it. I was diagnosed as a 40-year-old. From there, they got the blue bus, the mental health nurse came, I think it's the PACE team or whatever, I can't remember. And it's when the ambulance got out with the syringe ready to go, that's when I was like, I don't need to be sedated, and that's when I tried to jump back in my car. And I put up a bit of a struggle with the police. And I've apologised throughout the whole thing. They should have that on their cameras as well. And then I've ended up here for a 4-hour stay, and it's turned into a 24-hour stay. Now the reports are saying that it's a 72-hour stay. So I just need to get copies of the CT scans, the X-ray results, and my blood tests for the diabetes, and also my thyroid apparently was what was getting checked. So I got part of the assessment on the first night, and then I went to the nurses' stations Saturday and got the second part, and then I just need the assessment from today pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. And do you know why the police came in the first place?
No one's told me anything. So
from your perspective, what was going on?
Well, I don't know. So I was just sitting waiting for a friend on the side of the road, like in the dirt patch bit, like not literally directly on the side of the road, but on the dirt patch bit. There's a car park, a bitumen car park further around where everyone else can park, and I was waiting on the side of the road, and I'm being surrounded by all these vehicles. I've got that footage as well. Okay. So I don't know what's going on. I was just waiting for a friend. My dogs have been taken to the dogs' home, so I've got to get them out by Friday. So I rang them yesterday and just to check in on my dogs to see how they're going. And they've just got to check with the Joint Valley Council to make sure that they are registered, because that's where I've just sold my house to move from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you living at the moment?
I was staying at the cabin park. I was meant to be there until yesterday. And then I was heading up to Launceston for a few days. And then I was going to go to the mainland and check on the property that I've got, that I half own over there, that my uncle left me. So that was my plan. Like, I don't see why anyone's concerned with my plan and what I'm doing with my finances at the moment. It's my finances. It's my finances from when I had a car accident back in September 11, 2001. It's a compensation payout. That's how come I only had like a $40,000 mortgage. So I've since paid that out. And I've done the accounting advanced diploma of accounting up here at Tasdale. So I've got more financial background than what anyone else has got, if that makes sense. So I'm being smart with my money. I don't understand why everyone's coming at me.
So aside from the compensation, what do you do for income?
Well, I'm on disability for post-traumatic stress disorder from the car accident. So, yeah, that's why I got so scared that I was being surrounded by a whole heap of blokes on the side of the highway, on the side of the road on Friday. You know, and I started filming it. I locked myself in the car and to protect myself. I had my dogs in the car with me. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. But I do cope with it pretty well these days. Like, I mean, after the car accident, it took me a good year before I even could balls up and drive a vehicle, even just around the block. So it took me a long time to work over that. And I still have like issues the other day where I panicked on the highway, on the side of the road when all these cars were surrounding me, when there's plenty of car parking spaces. And then the police turned up and here I am now. You know, it is what it is. I'm just saying it is what it is because that's all I know that it is. But if there's more in the notes, please let me know because I can get to see what's been written in the notes as well.
Okay. So from what you said, you've got a diagnosis of autism and ADHD.
Yeah. So that came after the car accident. So that was when I was going to get assessed to see if I still had the post-traumatic stress disorder. That was before my mum passed away as well. So I've seen a lot of things in this lifetime and been through quite a few traumas. And that's okay. Like, it's just all part of the person I've become today. And that's why I don't want anything to do with my brother because he's belted me quite a few times over the years. And I still don't understand who called him to give me a call in at the hospital. Sorry, I've just got lost in that question, sorry. So I got assessed with post-traumatic stress disorder roughly officially. Well, I was assessed with it back at the car accident, like after that. And then I had to get another clinical psychologist to verify it because my original psychologist, I hadn't been on her books for 7 years. Her name was Jackie Triffett, and she's the one that implemented the back in the driving seat program for people that had been in car accidents and were traumatised from being able to get back behind the wheel. From there, so that was Angela Joseph that's assessed me with the PTSD, and she was the clinical psychologist who assessed me as having autism and the ADHD. And then we worked out both my sons have got it. So my youngest, he's a walking calculator. He can calculate in hundreds and thousands. He's just a walking genius. And then my other son, he's got the ADD, the ADHD, and the autism. In his words, he's got the hat trick. You know, he takes it on board. You know, we just learn to accept ourselves as being different from most of the average people. You know, there's nothing wrong with being different. It's just how we cope on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. And other than these diagnoses, do you have any other medical conditions or mental health conditions?
I've got hypermobility. So Angela's also picked up that I've got Ehlers-Danlos. So that's why I'm always outside, I can actually touch. It takes me 10 seconds to go from not being able to touch my toes to touch my toes, and then I can flat palm. So I've got hypermobility as well, which is where the carpal tunnels come into it. So I've had this one done privately, like the surgery. I've had this one done publicly. I'm always getting bursitis in my shoulders because I'm always doing things. I'm a tomboy at nature, so I can cutting walls without masking tapes and stuff like that. But I can't paint my nails to save myself, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not a girly girl, I'm more of a tomboy.
All right. And do you have any medications at all?
The most I'll take if I cannot sleep is a melatonin, and I'll just go get them from the chemist because they're too expensive. On the prescription for $50 for a 30-day script, it's I'm better off just getting the chewable ones and just brushing my teeth afterwards so that it doesn't stay stuck in my teeth. And that's the only thing I really do take. I was medicated with, and I'll show you the because my Aunt Angela also got me approved to be medicated with medicinal cannabis. And that was the original date. So the 23rd of the 8th, 2023. Okay. I haven't smoked that in a good 5 months, if that makes sense. So, I mean, they've done the drug test on me on the side of the highway yesterday on the road, and there's nothing in me. I don't drink.
Yeah. Any other drugs at all?
No.
Ever used any other drugs at all?
Oh, maybe when I was a teenager, not regularly. It was just someone's here, try this, and it just wasn't for me, if that makes sense. I've never been one to go down that track, and I've seen others go down that path in life, and I feel sorry for them because ruined their life in one way, shape or form. You know, it could be through traumas they've gone through and they felt like they had nowhere else to turn. Some people have actually become dealers of narcotics. You know, I've lived in Clarendon Vale and stuff like that. That's where I lived when I had the car accident. So I've seen different people go down different avenues for different reasons, if that makes sense. And I pass no judgment as long as they don't push that onto me, you know. So I have been on other medications as well. So for like my back, because I've apparently got like curvature of the spine as well. I've had my neck, or the top of my spine operated on. They went through the front to get to that, and I've got like a plate there and a couple of screws. It's C4 or C5, but that was done here at the hospital. So I have been on other painkillers before, like endone and Palexia and all sorts of things.
Have you ever been on anything else for your mental health, like with the PTSD?
No, I've never really needed to, I don't think. I mean, the doctor at the, your Hobart doctor, that's the name of the clinic, put me on melatonin, and that had me roller coastering, like it heightened all my senses, all my emotions. If you won $10 on a scratchy, I'd be crying over joy like you just won $2 million on the lotto. Like it was an overreaction. I could be inside my house with all the doors shut and I could smell the dog poo outside. Like it was like the whole neighbourhood had just dumped their dog turds in my backyard. It was an over heightened sensory smell, if that makes sense. And I'm always pooping and scooping in my backyard. And it turns out that medication needed me to go in and have monthly liver function tests. And it's like, well, that mustn't be good for a person if you need to have monthly liver function tests. So I've just since, like, and that was in the past probably 3 years, 2 to 3 years roughly, that I've been taken off all those medications and I've been doing well. Like, I mean, when my mum passed away, that was 3 years ago, like that was pretty hectic. She had cancer and she was only meant to survive 6 months. She actually walked out of the widow ward and survived 2 years. And me and my brother were her carers essentially, and she passed away in front of me. That was pretty hectic. She bled out on the toilet. I rang up palliative care, and I knew I needed to put her in the recovery position because it was coming out from her mouth, and it was the end of the time. And I need to let nature take its course. Like I knew that's what palliative care told me. They told me to ring 000 for protocol and whatever. So I rang them. They made me put her on her back. So essentially I drained her in her own blood and then start doing compressions. I also cracked her ribs. And like where she would have had osteoporosis as well from her bones getting weak, it was pretty full on. But I've since dealt with that, and like I sat on that for 7 months before I went back to my clinical psychologist, and she was the first person I opened up to about that. Because I couldn't tell my friends about that. I didn't want them to have that image of my mum as the last thing that they could picture of her, if that makes sense. Even though they weren't there in that moment. And I still can't watch like movies and blood and guts and stuff on TV because of it. And that's okay. I'm not really a fan of TV these days. But it took me, and that's when Angela got me put on to the medicinal cannabis because I wasn't eating as well. Even when Mum was alive, I got down to like 50 kilos, and that was me running a household. So I'd drop the kids off at school. I'd come, if I'm running too fast, just tell me to slow down. But I'd drop the kids off to school. I'd come back, I'd do a load of washing, slam that in tumble dryer, put the dishes in the dishwasher, and then I'd head up to Mum's for the day and do what she needed me to do.
Very busy in that time.
Yeah, but I made it manageable. But by the time I'd get home, I'd cook dinner at 5 o'clock. And it smelled beautiful, like grilled chicken, like I can cook. But I couldn't eat it. I don't know, it was just a sensation in my stomach, and I couldn't eat until roughly about 9, 10 o'clock. And that was with the assistance of the medicinal cannabis. And then I also started sleeping better.
Great.
Yeah. If that makes sense.
Has that been an issue lately, eating or sleeping at all?
No, not at all. Like I'm having breakfast. I don't usually eat breakfast. I usually fast for that. But I've been eating breakfast. You've got the nice plain yogurt, so that's good. It tastes very similar. It's kind of. It's. I could teach the chefs how to put some flavouring into the roast beef, but I'm not being nasty when I say that, you know. But I mean that's the closest I can get to the Greek yogurt, you know. And it's, yeah. The apricot one's just a bit too sweet for my liking. But yeah.
And sleep has been okay?
Oh, except for when they're leaving the lights on.
Yeah. What about when you were, before you came into hospital?
Yeah, no, not too bad. So maybe 11 o'clock at night. So I was getting at least 6 hours sleep, which isn't too bad.
Is that about normal for you?
Yes and no. With the black coffee, because I drink that black, it has the opposite effect for people with ADHD. So as opposed to the average person, they drink it for it to stimulate them to get through the workday or whatever, it does slow me down. And I've been drinking like the equivalent of 4 cups, 5 cups of that a day here, because I usually drink white tea as well. But that jug doesn't boil very well, so by the time you put milk in it, it's lukewarm. So I'm just drinking the black coffee and just not even putting cold water in it like I usually would.
Okay.
And that seems to be helping me to stay at an even level, if that makes sense, and getting some sleep.
Prior to coming in here, you were sleeping all right?
Yeah, except for, I was eating well, sleeping well, except for where I'd like pull my shoulder from like picking up the washing machine, because me and my sons, we moved our house ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we moved out and moved it into storage.
Yeah.
So I overdid it and pulled a muscle pretty much. And I was wearing a heat pack for a while, until I blew that up in the microwave. Wheat packs smell like popcorn when they melt. So.
And so do you normally live with your sons?
Yeah, so at the moment they've gone up to their dad's, and I've just sent my sons, my 18-year-old, through some money to send to dad for their board for the next couple of weeks. And I've done it so it comes back to me as like a receipt pretty much for the accounting tax and purposes. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think leading up to it, what we had heard was that the police were worried that you're behaving a little bit oddly.
I told them, like, I've got the footage. I could show you how I was surrounded by these vehicles.
Okay.
So I feel like I was, considering how I felt that day with these vehicles surrounding me on the side of the road when there's a car park over there. They didn't need to surround me, and they're all jumping out their vehicles, going from one car to the other to the other. I felt scared because I was a female. Oh, I am a female, not was. I am a female, and there was a lot of them surrounding me. So I don't think I've done anything wrong, except for filming them in case they were trying to do something shady.
Mm-hmm. Other than that situation with the police, is there any times where you've been feeling targeted or worried about your safety?
No, not really, if that makes sense. Except for my brother being told that I was in here, and did I want to talk to him on the phone? Like, that's another issue, that I'm like, I don't want to talk to a woman basher. Why would I want to go back down that karmic?
Yeah. If there were a person for us to contact, who would that be?
Well, my best friend passed away last year, so Bruce is not around to verify that. My 18-year-old son is the only one. And, I mean, the nurses tried to say that it would have been my son that told my brother, and it's like, well, it couldn't have been, because even my sons know what my brother's done. He's even belted me in front of my kids when they were 8 and 10. So they cannot pass that buck to my eldest child, Yeah.
All right. Okay.
My father's in Thailand. Not that I speak to him, because he's also a woman basher. That's where my brother picked up the trait from. I moved out of home when I was 17 because of him being heavy-handed. And he used to belt my mum as well, but she put up with it. She stuck with it, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'd rather not associate with blood relatives if they're going to be like that. I'm not going to invite that trouble back into my life again. I mean, I don't know if I showed you my lip.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, my leg my knuckle on my foot, that's from where he kicked the crap out of me in front of the kids. And then the last one was when was meant to be clearing out mum's stuff when she was in palliative care. And if I hadn't have turned my head, I would have got knocked into oblivion into the skip bin. So that was 3 years ago, was the last one. And we've spoken since, but when he starts to get demanding over a pair of sunglasses that he can just go down to shiploads and buy himself, as opposed to him wanting me to get them on Temu. And there was a miscommunication. And there's something else happened after that. I can't remember because it's on my old phone, and I've since blocked him on just blocked him from being able to contact me at all. That's just me safeguarding myself. He came up and visited me probably 2 months ago. I let him spend a few hours with me. He tried to say, but we're blood relatives and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but if you're going to keep repeating these mistakes, and it's neither here nor there if we're related or not, and lovingly sent him on his way, and this is the first time he's tried to contact me since I've moved.
So from here, you said your plan is to head up to Launceston.
Yeah, I just want to go up to the coast for a couple of weeks and just sit, just go to the beach and just relax a little bit, like up the east coast. I don't want to go to the west coast. That's the hard way to get up there. Just go up the east coast and just then I'll get to Launceston and do what I've got to do up there, and then I'll be catching the Spirit of Tasmania over to, is it Port in Geelong now? I think they've changed the port. I'm not sure. It used to be Port Melbourne, and I think they've changed it to Geelong now. And then I'll be there for a couple of weeks, and I should be back. But I was going to take my dogs with me, so good thing I haven't booked the flight, the trip over yet, because I'd be delayed right now, I would be delayed, and it'd just be costing me more money that I don't need to waste. As it is, my dogs have been sent to the dogs home because I was in the vehicle on Friday, so I've got to ring them up today and just see if they've been able to track down the registration numbers from Derwent Valley Council where I had them registered. Otherwise, it's going to cost me an extra $150 per dog on top of the bill, and I've got till Friday there. But I should be out tonight, 8:30, 9 o'clock, because that's the 72 hours.
And then how are things going in terms of like your thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking pretty clear actually. That's why I've asked Mark in regards to getting the CT scans, like in paper copy, my blood test results for my thyroid and diabetes and any other bits and pieces that have been not reported on but documented on my time here since Friday. I'm a very logical thinker in that regard. I guess that's the accounting, the advanced diploma of accounting coming into it, and the legal study side of it.
Okay. And that further education that you did, was that right after school or?
No. So I ended up, I had the car accident when I was 19. So that I was working at Ingham's when I had that, and then I ended up at the tomato farm, which helped me get range of motion back into my knee because that's what slammed into the steering wheel when I had the car accident. Working in the hothouses, the warm temperature helped to condition my knee. And I've got some range, and I can crouch, but not without bracing myself. Like, I still can't put full weight on it. From there, I ended up having the children, renovated that, bought a house, renovated that slowly. Had the kids, and then I decided I was going to sell kids' clothes online. But to do that, I need to have some sort of small business management behind me. So I went and did the small business management certificate 4 course at TAFE, and that only took 6 months. And then from there, I did the Cert 3 Accounts Administration, which is like the very first bit of the accounting bit. And then I need to learn taxes, and it just rolled from there. And when I finished Cert 4, Bridget McLaughlin, the teacher, she convinced me that I had the brain capacity to go further with it and do the diploma and the advanced diploma. And then I was getting letters from university inviting me to be a student. But at $33,000 for the 3 years, it was cheaper to do it up here at TAFE. As opposed to, I think it only cost me like $6,000 in student HEX fees, I think is what they called it back then. I don't know what they call it now. From there, I tried to get into the taxation side of things because I realised if I was going to be opening up a small business, then I'd be doing all the tax and the payroll stuff at the end of the day, not being able to spend the time with my kids. So it would have took my whole day and whole night. And then I ended up becoming a teacher assistant for a little while, working with neurodiverse students in high school, and it was an amazing. It was one of the best jobs. It was one of the best jobs. And then my uncle passed away, and then that happened, and then Mum got sick, and then that happened, and here I am now, so to speak. That's when I ended up getting assessed with the post-traumatic stress disorder, and still had it pretty much, and just had to prove I had it, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Like, that's just over the past 15, 20 years. So I'm pretty educated to a certain extent, but I'm always open to learning more as well. So I'm learning, there's been with the patients, there's one that's been a social worker, one that's worked in palliative care. I'm like, oh mate, I could not do what you did on a regular basis. Just what I saw with my mum was bad enough, and you've got to be able to leave your job behind at work and go home to your own family and not take that, not burden, but you know what I mean, that what you've seen in your work day, it would be so hard to do.
So I just wanted to clarify as well, with the documents that you've got there about the assessment orders and things like that. just because I think that there's maybe a little bit of confusion around them. So the first one that you received was the BFA.
Which one's that one?
That's the one that the police and the PACER team brought you into hospital.
Oh, well, I haven't even seen that one.
Okay.
So no one's wanting me to look at that one. So if there's a copy of that, I'd love to see that.
The second one is the assessment order, which I think is what you've got in front of you.
Yeah, now this is the first one I received, but it was blank on the rest of it, and then that's the one that says about the 72 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 72 hours is a period of assessment, and from there, that doesn't mean that 72 hours is when the admission ends. It means...
Well, it says a period not exceeding 72 hours, so...
So from there, we can make a decision on whether we think that you need to stay in hospital, whether we think that there needs to be further orders in place, or anything like that. So this is how long this particular order lasts for.
Yeah, so this is the one that I'm on right now.
Yeah.
So it's meant to be finished...
They'll be finished tonight.
Yeah, tonight at we'll say quarter to whatever, yeah.
Yeah, but we will have a bit of a think and a discussion about what the next steps forward will be, and we'll let you know and give you anything further.
So I've still got to get permission from you guys, even though I've been the most even patient this whole time, and I've not wigged out and I've not needed medications or anything like that. It was only because I was filming people for fear of my own safety.
So
yeah, okay.
Do you have any questions for us at the minute?
So I'm guessing you guys are planning on exceeding it over 72 hours.
We'll have a bit of a discussion as a team about what the next steps are. I don't know if Dr. Harwood had some more questions for you at all.
Have you've never been in hospital before for a mental health problem? Or
No. So I've been in, like, to have children, the operations and stuff like that. No. So this is my first time in what I'm calling the Hotel Hilton, if that makes sense. So I'm just making light of the situation.
What if you were to leave hospital today? What would your plans be?
Well, I would go pick up. Well, I wouldn't be able to because it's after work hours. But I'd probably have to stay overnight actually because I haven't got anywhere booked to stay. So I was booked in for a cabin up until yesterday, but this all happened on Friday and I haven't been able to pre-plan anything else, if that makes sense. So it would probably be in my best interest to stay the night, because I wouldn't even be able to pick up my dogs and even start the road trip up to Launceston, if that makes sense.
Where's your car at the moment?
On the site, well, the police have put it in the car park at Riston Vale for me. They've got one key. I don't mean to point, but they've got one key at not Bridgewater, starts with B, Bellareve, and you guys have got the other key locked up with my bits and pieces and my smoke. So I haven't even had a cigarette this whole time I've been locked up. If that means I'm doing well though, because I have given up smokes before. So you're kind of doing me a favour without realising it. So I appreciate that. But I'm just passive smoking off everyone else that's come in smelling like nicotine. So if that makes sense, yeah.
So we're just meeting you for the first time, and I guess one of the things that strikes us, and this might be anxiety, or it might be nerves, or it might be ASD or ADHD or whatever, but you're a bit racy the way that you speak. You're very fast. Is that normal?
That's normal, yeah. So
usual?
That's usual for me. Yeah. So that's why I say to people, like, if I am talking too fast, just tell me to slow down. Yeah. My uncle used to tell me that I would give him a headache and to shut up. And that was just a family joke, though. That's the uncle that's passed away. Yeah. So, like, when I've been liaising and just conversing with the other patients out there, because I know they've got their own bits and pieces that they're going through, like, I'd just say to them, look, if I am being too much, just let me know. And they've all been, no. I've been giving them a bit of a laugh as well and a giggle, and just in how I speak and what I say, or not what I say, but how I say things. Like, I call my carpal tunnel wanker's cramp because I get the shakes from not being able to control it, and if I can't have a joke about it, it does do my head in, if that makes sense. I can't paint a straight line, so I just have a bit of a joke at my own expense. So that's why I say laugh with me, not at me.
Have you ever been on any medications like Seroquel or Valium?
Yeah, they've had me on Valium. That's diazepam. They've had me on temazepam. They've had me
What's that for? Why did they prescribe those?
That was to help me sleep when Mum was still alive. And it got to the stage where my brain would override it, and it was like I needed more, if that makes sense, for it to even have that same effect as what it had to start off with. So that's why the clinical psychologist Angela, who wrote me the referral letter for the alternative medicinal cannabis, she actually said that she would like me to be on the Valium as well, but that was up to me. So, but I found at that time, and probably even now, probably not my ears off my shoulders if I'm being honest, because I haven't been on it for quite a few months.
Yeah. What about Seroquel or quetiapine? Have you ever been on that?
No, I'd rather not. I'd know nothing about it. I'd need to do my own discernment and research about it. And after the doctors at the private doctors at your Hobart doctor, that's the name of the clinic, they put me on this melatonin, and they just told me it was a different version of melatonin, and that had me going like a roller coaster. And then we looked it up online, and it was pretty not good for a liver. So if it's not good for your body, it shouldn't be needed. And I mean, I was only diagnosed with this at 40, so I've gone a whole lifetime and learnt to cope with it. And we've got feelings we're meant to be able to feel. If we bottle them all up, and then I go without a script for 5 days, if I can't get to a chemist, for instance, then that's just going to explode a person. And I don't want to be doing that either, so that's why I end up going back to the clinical psychologist and just talking things out with her, like, if that makes sense.
So who's your GP?
Just Jordan River Health. Just whoever I can see on any given day, because, I mean, things are going back to Medicare now, which is good, so people will be able to get in and see the doctor, but sometimes you can't get in and see your doctor for a good 3 weeks, so you just take whoever you can see, pretty much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Does anyone in your family have bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or anything like that?
So my brother, he's also ADHD. He was diagnosed younger than me, and I think it's because boys don't mask it as well as girls, and I don't know why girls do it. Apparently we do it to blend in without realising it. So he's had it for, maybe we've both had it for a lifetime, but he was diagnosed with it more so. But he's the one that would need to be assessed for bipolar, because he can be very aggressive and very heavy-handed and launch something or someone at the drop of a hat. And I'm being plain and honest. I'm not being nasty when I say that. I'm just speaking from my own experience and what I've seen. Yeah.
Who are you close to? Is there anyone that we can talk to about how you're going? Or?
Well, my best friend Bruce passed away a year ago in August. So my son, he's 18.
Your ex, their dad?
No. He got heavy-handed with me one time as well, and we co-parent nicely, if that's the word I'm trying to get out, amicably. But apart from that, he's got nothing to do with me, and I don't want anything to do with him in the nicest way possible. He would stay in bed until lunchtime, and I'd be up bathing newborn babies, and I'd be getting told off because the newborn baby doesn't like getting in the bath, and then doesn't like getting out of the bath because the water sensation. He would be telling me off for bathing a baby at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Look, I think you're doing okay. We're just going to have a little bit more of a look at the notes of when you came in, but I suspect that we probably won't need to extend this order. I can't promise that, but, and I do think you should stay in hospital tonight regardless.
Well, I just looked at the time, and even if he did release me, I would be kind of snookered with, trying to get back to my vehicle and then to sort the dogs out and all that. Yeah. So I'd appreciate that extra free night in the Hotel Hilton would be great. Thanks, mate. And I'll say that nicely, But yeah, I just don't feel like there's a reason for me to have been kept in, if that makes sense. And that's okay. Like, I understand you're doing it. I just ran too fast and I just realised that, for my own safety as well. And I do understand that, and I'm grateful for it. But it was more so me being concerned about all these blokes surrounding me on the side of the road, and I was filming them. I was, because what else could I do?
Can you show us that video?
Yeah, I can, but it's quite a fair back in my video, so I can do later if you like.
If you want to find that for us, and we might come back later and have a look.
Yeah, I can do that, not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, no, so yeah, I mean, if you do go to release me tonight, I would appreciate just having the room.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that there's other people that desperately need beds as well, like just in the hospital in general, like down the emergency ward and all that. So that would, I
Yeah.
guess, work in my benefit without,
Yeah,
you know,
I can't
yeah.
make any promises just yet. We just need to have a little bit more of a look at things.
Yeah.
But that seems like.
But yeah,
that's
if
the
I
way
could get a
might go.
copy of those reports as well for my own record,
Yeah.
that would be ace. And the CT scans and the X-ray, I think that was done on my head,
Yeah, I
and
can
also,
print out the reports
Yeah.
for all the
yeah, no, thank you.
investigations.
And I don't know, do I have diabetes and a thyroid problem? I don't know, because I had a couple of blood tests done for that as well.
Print out all the blood
Thanks,
tests.
that would be awesome. That'd be ace. Thanks, guys. I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
And I'm not allowed to be released to have a cigarette yet. I know, so that's okay.
I'm happy for you to go and have a ciggy so long as you're coming.
Oh yeah, look, I'll even take a chaperone with me if you's like.
Yeah, we won't worry about a chaperone. Just as long as you can commit to coming back.
Oh yeah, for sure, like for sure. I'm a trustworthy person. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I can be a justified arsehole if that makes sense, but I'm not someone that's a liar. You know, I'll tell the whole truth as I see it. You know, that's just me.
It's all good. We'll just give you half an hour to go.
Yeah.
On the site,
I'll probably have that one and probably sit down because it'll give me a big, massive nicotine head spin, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
That's what usually happens. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll touch base a little bit later in the day. Okay.
Yeah, no drama. I mean, it's like until 8:45 anyway, before the 72-hour period, and I'm sure you will be clocked off before then.
We will. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that's all good, mate. I'll do it. And I'm terrible with names, so you're mate, you're lovely, you're sweetheart, and that's just how I roll.
That's all good.
No, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
So yeah.
Oh yes, I can go for a signature.